Hey guys, we're back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the gyro sensor. I know in the last video we did touch and color, and those two are easy, but the gyro and what we do in the next video, range, are going to be a little bit different, and they work a bit differently than the other two because they're modern robotic sensors instead of the rev ones. So without further ado, let's get started. Hey guys, so we're back here on my computer, and we're going to code a gyro sensor. So we're going to start the same as always, private gyro sensor. That's the name of the class, gyro sensor, capital G, capital S. And we're going to call our variable gyro. Very easy. Then, same as always again, we have to hardware map. So gyro, hard, like this. Sorry, my bad. Class, and then name and config was just gyro if you watched our previous video. Yeah, so then we're going to use the telemetry to call all of its values. So basically the way the gyro sensor works is it can track the motion of the robot, and it can tell you where the robot is in space relative to where it was when you started running your program.
Using a 3-component axis.
Yes, it's like an XYZ thing, so you would just type gyro. Well, you have to use the telemetry, so you want to type like X, and then you can do like gyro dot like raw X, like that, and that'll return its like how much it's moved on the X-axis, and then you can do the same thing for like the Y-axis and the Z-axis. I'm just gonna copy and paste. You don't have to, but I feel like it's just easier.
Saves a lot of time.
So then you're gonna have your code is gonna return the XYZ value that the gyro produces, and it's gonna basically show you where the robot is, particularly where the gyro sensor is, relative to where it was when you started running the code. Other than that, last neat thing you can do with the gyro sensor is you can basically return the heading of the gyro sensor. So let me explain what this means. If the gyro sensor is here and you tilt it like this, the heading of the sensor will change. So not only can it track its movement through space, but it can also track how much it's turning. And that can be very handy because sometimes the robot could be in the right space but improperly turned. So by tracking the heading of the robot, we can use our gyro sensor to deal with those sort of problems too, like that. And it should return a heading value. And I'm just going to put spaces here, colons, because it just makes it look nicer. And then, yeah, that's how you code a gyro sensor. So now we're going to cut to this running, and we're going to show you how it displays on the phone. So we'll see you then. Okay guys, we're here with our gyro plugged into our control hub as shown in our Introduction to Sensors video. So without further ado, we're going to run our code as you saw before.
So we're using sensors just so you can see, and then there you go.
So I don't know if you can see, but when I wave the gyro sensor, it forces the values on the phone to fluctuate. And if I keep the gyro sensor stationary, and I hold it down, you'll notice that the values still do fluctuate a little bit, but if you can see them, you'll notice that they're not changing by as much as they are when I'm waving it like this.
Yeah.
So hope this helped.
We haven't used these a lot, so we're not really sure about the what you should actually try to use in your code, but we might do some testing on it later.
Yeah, but this is how it works. This is how you can set it up and configure it and run it to actually return accurate values.
Alright guys, so that was how you use the gyro sensor. I hope it was pretty helpful, even if it's a little bit fluctuating. You might have better also versions of gyro sensors by the time you guys are actually using stuff.
But the one thing I should say is that if you're not using a modern robotic sensor, it might program differently.
Yes. So. But you can also, I'm sure if there's a newer version, there's probably a Rev video. I'm assuming it would be Rev. There'd probably be a video on, if you just search up, And
it's probably similar on the computer. It's just going to wire up, the color or touch, so that's easy. But it'll probably program similar. It might just have a different, the class might just be named differently. And the The function you use to extract values might also be.
And the config would be different.
Yeah,
but
the config would be.
yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the gyro sensor video. Next, we're going to move on to the modern robotics range sensor. So we'll see you then.